making another $2 dinner for a family of 4. At least that's what we're shooting for. We're shooting for $2 for the whole shebang. Tonight, we're making tuna casserole. I love tuna. I really do. So, what we're starting with, for any casserole, right, you start with your starch. So you're going to have rice or potatoes or pasta. So we are using this box of Ronzoni Delight Garden Veggie Pasta Rotini. Colorful, pretty, twirly. This is normally $2. This is usually $2, I think. But I got it free with couponing. So that helps a lot, doesn't it? Free noodles as our base. Then with any casserole you need something to bind it together. So there you get your classic cream of mushroom soup. Here we have condensed cream of mushroom soup from Aldi, 45 cents. That is an awesome price. You never see Campbell's at that price anymore, or store brand soup. Soup is supposed to be inexpensive. I'm choking on my words because I'm so emotional about soup. Soup has gotten so expensive, canned soup. I think it's crazy, and I won't stand for it. So we got the Aldi soup. We are using but one little can of tuna. I know, because it's a cheap casserole. But here we have our chunk light tuna in water, also from Aldi's, 65 cents. Yes, it would be nice to get the white albacore, but we are beggars, and beggars cannot be choosers. And we're just damn glad to have a tuna casserole at all. So, got the chunk light instead of the albacore. So, the tuna and the soup combined is, what did I say, 49 cents and 65 cents. So that's $1.14. That's pretty good so far because we have our free pasta. Now, even if you're not getting free pasta because you're not into couponing, this meal would still be cheap, But I wouldn't suggest going out and buying a $2 box of pasta. If you're not couponing, you want to get like a 69-cent box of pasta from the store brand or something like that. So, we'll have the tuna and the noodles and the mushroom soup to bind it all together. I'll use just a little splash of milk to thin out the condensed soup a little bit. Not as much milk as you would if you were actually making soup, because that would be too soupy. You still want that to be thick, but a little bit of milk. I get a gallon of milk for about $2.20 at a store called Wegmans. At the normal, regular, giant chain grocery store around here, a gallon of milk is going to be about $3.79, and that's way too expensive. Way too expensive. I saw milk this morning at Aldi for about $2.79, but at this other store that I mentioned, I get it for about $2.20 a gallon. So I go to that store just for milk. Gotta do what you gotta do. So $2.20 a gallon. So for a couple of ounces of milk, I don't know. Do the math for me. Get back to me. I'm so tired. I can't do the math right now. I mean, how many ounces are in a gallon? I don't know. A lot? 128? I don't know. I'm making that up. I don't know. God, thank God we're not doing metrics. Metric measurements, grams and liters, and can't do that at all. Okay. Then cheese. Cheese is our exciting flavor addition. I suppose if I didn't want to put a heck of a lot of cheese in here, I could have gotten another can of tuna, but we're going for the cheese, because actually I didn't even think of that before. This block of delightful Colby Jack cheese, $1.79 at Aldi. So I'm going to use half of it. I'm going to cut it in half and shred it up. And so half of that would be, what would that be? Wait, what did I say? $1.79, so that's basically $1.80. So half of that's 90 cents. So right now we're at $2. We've hit $2. Maybe plus a couple of pennies. Maybe I'll use slightly less than half, so I really feel like I'm bringing it in at $2. Okay, so there's your casserole, right? And in a sec I'm going to put the pasta on to boil, and then we'll put it all together. But because I have a vegetable garden, we're going to be able to add some more stuff to this casserole, because you want to be able to put some vegetables in. And casseroles are just the most fabulous thing, because you can make them ahead, then you heat them up, and there's dinner, like all your nutrition is together. And unless you're one of those people who doesn't like their food mixed together, like everything has to be separate on the plate, and you eat all your peas first, you eat all your mashed potatoes, and then you eat all your turkey, and nothing is ever mixed. I don't like that. I do not like that style of dinner consumption. I like a casserole. I like everything all mushed together. So yes, you want to add some vegetables. So this is a hunk of zucchini left over from the other day when I made zucchini bread. So I'm going to chop that up and put it in the casserole. And then I'm going to cut up some tomatoes from my garden and put it in the casserole. And I love tomatoes with tuna. I love like the, whatever, what's the flavor of tomatoes? How would you describe it? Kind of tart, kind of sweet, kind of tomatoey. It's just a nice, interesting counterbalance to the kind of bland savoriness of the cheese and the tuna. So that's what we're doing today. So, as I said, we're going to cook the pasta and then we'll put it all together. And then we're going to taste it for dinner. And here's hoping my kids eat it. Because if your family won't eat it, it's not going to waste, but you're eating the whole thing yourself. I've grated the cheese and cut up the zucchini. The pasta's cooking. And now I am cutting up some tomato. And I'm trying to think, what else can I add to this meal that will be free, basically, because we've hit our $2. And yeah, it's a couple pennies over $2, but I'm thinking, well, it's a casserole, right? We're not going to eat the whole thing. So this really is going to be more than just the one dinner for 4 people. That's what I'm thinking, because who finishes a whole casserole in one night? I don't think we will. Granted, that's a 12-ounce box of pasta. It's not a 16-ounce box, but I still don't think we're going to finish it all in one night. But I'm trying to think, what else can we add to this, that's free, because I can't make it cost any more money. What can we add? So I'm thinking, what else do we have in the garden? And then I remembered we have a cucumber. It's not a big cucumber. So I picked this cucumber earlier in the garden, so I'm thinking, okay, I'll slice that up into long wedges and put a little salt on, because the girls like cucumber, so that will be something else on the plate that was free and is another vegetable. You'll eat that, won't you? Are you trying to eat the cheese? She's trying to pilfer the cheese. That's why she wanted to be part of this, because she's a cheese thief. Yeah, you can't have the cheese. You go. Go. You go, little cheese burglar. Go. Go. The cheese thief has to be put in cheese jail. Anyway, so we have the free cucumber that we're going to add to this. All right, there's the pasta boiling away. That's interesting, but I just wanted to show you this. I didn't know if everybody knew this trick. You put the wooden spoon, here's your, stirring. Put the wooden spoon across the top of the pot. Apparently it keeps the pot from boiling over. I'm going to believe it because every time I do it, the pot doesn't boil over, so I guess it's true. But for some reason, if the water boils up and hits the wooden spoon, I don't know, something magical happens and it just goes down again. So, if you have issues with your pasta boiling over, well, lay your wooden spoon across the top. Give that a go. Alright, now we have the cooked pasta in the pot, and I'm going to mix all the casserole ingredients together back in this pot, since I have to wash it anyway. So I'm going to scoop out the cream of mushroom soup and put it in. And while the pasta was cooking, I went out to the garden and I picked some lettuce leaves to add to the meal. For some reason, the girls like to eat plain lettuce leaves, like no salad dressing. I don't get that, because I've eaten a lot of lettuce in my day, but I'm not wild about it without salad dressing. Alright, so we get our cream of mushroom in with our noodles. That acts as the binder. And if you don't have cream of mushroom soup, you can make a sauce, which is probably cheaper, but this is easier, by just cooking a little bit of flour in butter on the stove, and then you add milk, and that can make a sauce that will bind. Okay, there we go. And I'm gonna put in the can of tuna. This is packed in water, and I didn't drain the water. I'm going to use the water as part of what kind of thins out that condensed soup, because then I guess technically that would cut back on the amount of milk I would need to thin it out. And we are being frugal, frugal, frugal. I'm going to add just a little splash of milk, as you would, add milk if you're making soup. Oop, that was kind of more than I expected. Stir that all together. Put in some salt. I'm going to put in the tomatoes from our very own garden. That will add some moisture too. And I'm going to put in the zucchini. And I think I am not going to mix the cheese in. I'm just going to sprinkle it on top. So it will have a nice, kind of cheesy, bubbly, crusty top. So, stir all this together, and then we'll put it in our Pyrex baking dish. Casseroles are such a good way to use up leftovers and just to get the whole meal cooked in one big dish. So convenient. Can you see it? I'll show you in a sec. There we go. That's a lot. We're definitely not going to eat all of this at once. So that's pretty amazing that this whole casserole is just slightly above $2, mere pennies above. Because this is definitely more than one dinner for 4 people. So, it'd be interesting to see how many meals we do get out of it. I'm thinking at least, I don't know, dinner for all of us tonight, and then maybe 2 lunches tomorrow? I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Alrighty, and then we're going to sprinkle the cheese, boop, 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 our grated cheese, all over the top. That will be good. It's like a tuna and tomato cheese melt casserole. Alrighty, so that's what it looks like. It's going in the oven at 350. I'm thinking, everything in there is really cooked. The vegetables aren't cooked, but they don't have to get super cooked. So it really just needs to warm all the way through and the cheese get all melty and bubbly on the top. So I'm thinking, 20, 25 minutes. We'll come back and check it, and then we'll be ready for supper. Super cheesy, super delicious tuna casserole. There we go, everybody. Are you guys excited to try this?
Yeah.
Good.
Yes. This is going to be delicious. I just know it's cheesy.
Very cheesy. Autumn, what do you think of it?
The wickedest thing I've ever tasted in my whole life.
Okay, that's not too much of an exaggeration. The most delicious thing you've ever tasted in your whole life?
Yes.
Wow. Do you like the tomatoes in it?
Yes.
All right. You know that cucumber, you grew that cucumber in your own garden. You didn't know that? There you go. $2 for the whole casserole. Definitely not eating it in one meal. So that is frugal.
Bye.
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 Say bye.